All right, we are live. Welcome back to Midwest Brouhaha 2015. My name is Bobby Narco.
And I'm Champ Unkind. And we're here to bring you Steel City versus Detroit. This is going to be a fun one, Bobby.
It is indeed. We'll go over the rosters a little bit later, but they look like they are ready to skate. So we are going to head right out to Derby Laces track number 2 and bring you the action. Champ Unkind, who is on the jammer line?
On the jammer line for Steel City, that would be number 4, who is Mary Slaughterberg. And here we go, Mary Slaughterberg. Or actually, I'm sorry, that's just scrimmaging. You got me confused there, buddy.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, black versus gold.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Must be a scrimmage.
My bad. So we do have a little time. We could have gone over the rosters. We will later.
We're just so excited we wanted to get started.
Amen. Champ, why don't you take us through who's skating for Detroit then?
For Detroit, we have number 10, Swift Justice, number 12, TKO, number 13, Off the Hook, number 239, Boone Jock Saint, number 28, Racer McChaser, number 33, Cookie Rumble, number 38, Tig O'Hitties, number 4, Meryl Slaughterberg, number 40, Murder City Mistress, number 428, Freakin' Rican, number 44, Helen Killer, number 45, Fita Sleaze, number 6, Ella McPherson, number 620, Laser Beam, number 66, Perish Her, and number 770, Peaches and Cremia.
There you go. Alternate skaters for that are 239 Boone Jock Saint. You read off 66 Perisher. Not on the list, though. Alternate skater number 22, Animatronic. They won't be in the game, but we're going to give some love to them on the microphone. On the bench for the Detroit Derby Girls, we have Speedy and Skid. And we are underway now.
Yeah, Leon Grohl putting on the star for Pittsburgh and the Steel City, Steel Hurton. She is going up against, that would be
the lead jammer right now.
Lead jammer right now, number 45 for Detroit, Fita Sleaze. And she is lead jammer as she's coming back into the pack with a wall of Steel City, Steel Hurton in front of her, getting pushed out, forced to call it off, picking up 3 points though before tapping the hips.
Great job by Feta Sleaze.
Excuse me. I'm new to English.
I think it's Greek.
It's a new language.
Feta cheese? I think that's Greek.
I do like cheese, so I am slightly embarrassed here. All right.
You're in a great place for it here in Milwaukee,
exactly.
Wisconsin.
Exactly.
Who's on the jammer line right now? Take us out to the notorious RED jammer line.
Well, on the jammer line now, we have number 32 for Steel City. That'd be Rock Hard Candy. She is going up against Meryl Slaughterberg of Detroit. And Meryl Slaughterberg at the back of the pack. Number 32, Rock Hard Candy, gets through first. She will be lead jammer for Detroit, but Slaughterberg getting through as well. Now, back in the pack is Rock Hard Candy with a couple Detroit blockers in front of her, getting past a few, calling it off. Able to pick up 4 points, though, getting Steel City on the board.
Nice. Good to get on the board early. If you are following along at home, that means you are benefiting from the hard work of Hinckley Productions. They have been a friend to the Derby since 2008, and they are providing the live video production services that you are listening to at this very moment. Support free streaming Derby with your DVD purchase at hinkleyproductions.com/brouhaha.
And next up, we have Helen Killer versus Snot Rocket Science.
Back behind that notorious RED jammer line.
Yeah, and Snot Rocket Science turns on those jets and gets through, but she still has a couple Detroit blockers in front of her. She's trying to work her way up the middle, and now we have Helen Killer who has to fight her way past her own blocker, trying to get past the Steel Hurton. Hurricane Heather also in front, and she's bouncing around inside the pack, trying to get through, as well as Snot Rocket Science to the outside, trying to get past Hurricane Heather. It is Helen Killer who will be lead jammer, Detroit's second lead jammer of these 3 jams so far, Bobby.
Took a long time for that to get established.
Yeah, more than a full lap around the track. So some good defense so far on this jam as Helen Killer is now back in the pack, gets through, calls it off.
It's not rocket science doing that stealth jammer cover. To no avail. She doesn't even approach for her scoring pass.
Yeah, so we do have another lead change, our third lead change already of 6-4, a whopping 6-4 early on in this bout.
Roughly a 3-2 margin.
We're doing it in multiples. Leanne Grohl lining up for the Steel Hurton. She's going up against number 10, Swift Justice of Detroit.
here on Derby Laces Track 2.
Yeah, this is a Rust Belt rivalry of these two teams. And Steel City getting through first with Leanne Grohl. She will be lead jammer for the Steel Hurton. Swift Justice still inside the pack. Now you see Leanne Grohl reapproaching the pack, getting up the middle, going to the outside, picking up. That would be 5 points and a Rydell Skates Grand Slam.
Freakin' Rican is the first occupant of the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box.
That's a mouthful.
Didn't see the call on Freakin' Rican. We're going to have another occupant pretty soon. It's going to be joined by number 33 on the black team. That is Cookie Rumble.
Yeah, and 4-4 on that last jam. Both jammers getting through. And it looks like we have another lead change.
How about that?
13-10, not multiples this time.
Roughly a 13-10 margin.
We do have an odd number.
Not even roughly,
number.
a true 13-10 margin.
Yes, and number 45 for Detroit lining up, that's Feta Sleaze. This time I said it right. She's going up against Rock Hard Candy, so a little bit of a food market out there.
A little bit of buffet behind the notorious RED Jammer line.
It's making me a little bit hungry. And let's see, we got Rock Hard Candy getting back into the pack. She's got 2 to be in front of her. Now 1 trying to get around to the inside, taking that hop, step, and a jump. She will get through for a Steel Hurton lead jammer. Feta Sleaze still inside the pack, trying to get past last one. She does get through.
Misconduct call on Nick Rolfeliak, probably blocking a down skater.
Yeah, and then we have Rock Hard Candy once again trying to get in the pack, but sees the other jammer approaching, calling it off, able to pick up 2 more points for the Steel Hurton.
You mentioned how that jam reminded you of a buffet. If you're getting hungry, you might want to visit Classic Slice Pizza. They are your friendly neighborhood Roller Girl-owned pizzeria. They are serving up huge slices, salads, desserts, and appetizers made from scratch, specializing in vegetarian and vegan items, and the best gluten-free crust in the city. Classic City Pizza has been a proud Brew City Bruiser sponsor from the very beginning. Stop in this weekend, grab a slice, and a $2 tall boy.
Meryl Slaughterberg against Snot Rocket Science, and Slaughterberg immediately getting through for lead jammer. She goes up the inside, but Snot Rocket Science not far behind. And, I mean, any closer, and you need to put a ruler between these two. And let's see if she can pass her up as they both approach the pack, calling it off as Detroit's pack was in the back, which gave Steel City the advantage. Forced to call it off. Yeah. No points.
If that was a dance, the chaperones would have pulled them apart a little bit.
Exactly. Thank God there were no nuns there calling on that. And we have, that would be Leanne Grohl once again against Helen Killer on our next jam. Detroit in the back, Steel City in the front. 1 Steel City skater in the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. Waiting for that whistle. There it is. Going to the outside. It's Helen Killer trying to shove her way to the outside. Now back up the middle. And you can see that Leanne Grohl trying to make her way right behind her, now passing her up. But it is Helen Killer with that boost of speed getting through to pick up lead jammer once again for Detroit. And let's see if they can take advantage of this opportunity. And looks like Leanne Grohl tried to make a star pass, but was not able to stick the landing, or the pass, as we should say.
That's more of that cloaking device. She wasn't the lead jammer, so she took off her helmet cover to remove the target from herself so that she could matriculate her way through the pack.
Matriculate. Nice verbiage.
Why, thank you.
And we've got Rock Hard Candy lining up again against Feta Sleaze. Once again,
back to the buffet.
Yeah. And we've got Steel City, the Steel Hurton in front, Detroit in the back. Detroit, of course, in black and red. Steel City in gold and black.
The Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box is empty.
Yeah, full complement of skaters out there for both teams as Feta Sleaze tries to go up but loses her footing of a great block, but she is able to get through and pick up lead. Rock Hard Candy forced to recycle, reduce, and reuse herself. She's going to take off the star and look like she might try to pass it to the pivot. That'll be Allie McKill.
Nick Rolfeliak to the penalty box, didn't see the call.
And through the pack for a Rydell Skates Grand Slam, it is Feta Sleaze, who's now coming back into the pack and into the inside, up and picking up another 5 points and another Rydell Skates Grand Slam.
Number 428 also to the penalty box. That's Freakin' Rican. Both of them making their second trip to the penalty box.
Yeah, and the pack now spreading out. It is still Rock Hard Candy with that star on her helmet. unable to pass it again, picking up another 5 points before calling it off. It is Feta Sleaze. So Detroit takes the lead back on that jam, 28-15, but plenty of time remaining with just under 22 minutes remaining in the first half.
Champ Unkine, I am digging that Argyle vest you have on. It wouldn't surprise me at all if you had some amazing socks.
Oh, you know what? I could definitely get some of those to match from Sakatumi because they sell fun, funky socks. Socks with tacos, cupcakes, ninjas, mustaches, unicorns, and other things magical. With over 200 different sock designs, there's something for every personality from punk rock to peacock and everything in between. But back to the track, we've got number 4. Meryl Slaughterberg, she is the lead jammer for Detroit. And she is now back inside the pack on that scoring pass. But it's not rocket science right behind her, able to pick up just 2 points. 3 points for Detroit from Meryl Slaughterberg.
Detroit now 4 for 4 with lead jammers.
Yeah, doing a great job.
And on that prior jam, that was a 14-point jam by Feta.
Oh, that was absolutely great.
Best jam of the day.
So far.
Feta leads all scorers with 17 points.
So far.
So far.
So far.
Amen. Let's use some of those Sunday talk. Amen and none. I'm in church. I'm in the church at Derby right now.
It is Sunday.
I hope you're with us.
Helen Killer going up against Leanne Grohl, and it is Helen Killer who fights her way through the pack immediately, getting lead jammer as she passes turn 1. It's not rocket science. Leanne Grohl does get through, so she will be able to score points on the next pass as Helen Killer gets into the pack. She's got a few more in front of her.
Cookie rumbled to the penalty box on a blocking out of bounds.
Yeah, that doesn't help. But calling it off, able to pick up 3 points for Detroit, adding that lead just a little bit more, 34-18, 20 minutes remaining.
Some fantastic roller derby going on here. Some fantastic roller derby all weekend. And in addition to Hinckley Productions, Field 59 is also helping us with this live stream. They are, in fact, powering the live stream technology today. Also did the live stream technology behind the 2014 Roller Derby World Cup in Dallas. Power Jam your derby bouts with Field 59's video solutions. Champ Unkine, take us back out to the Derby Laces track.
Well, we have Swift Justice for Detroit. She will not be lead jammer as Rock Hard Candy got through first for Steel City. She's coming back into the pack. She's going to try that pack speeding up a little bit, now slowing down as the jammer comes back. We've got Steel City's wall kind of spread out there and calling it off, able to pick up 4 more points for the Steel Hurton, 4-0. So trying to catch up just a little bit, closing in on that lead.
Hurricane Heather makes her way to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box on a high block.
Yeah, and Hurricane Heather, a member of Team USA from Steel Hurton, as well as the jammer for Steel Hurton right now, Snot Rocket Science. She's going up against Feta Sleaze of Detroit.
I remember Snot Rocket Science way back at the 2007 championship in Austin, Texas, when she was skating with the... No, I'm wrong. I don't remember that at all. I remember something else.
And it is Feta Sleaze who gets through first for Detroit. She will be lead jammer. Snot Rocket Science still trying to get through that Detroit wall. And it is Feta Sleaze now back inside the pack, going to try to pick up some points for Detroit, as she does right there. And a Rydell Skates Grand Slam for Detroit. It's not rocket science, really having problems there, but she does get through the pack after that Rydell Skates Grand Slam as Feta Sleaze gets back into the pack. Let's see what she does here. And she does call it off before, yes, she does, before Snot Rocket Science gets into the pack.
All right, we're fortunate enough to have a top-notch producer here in the person of Val Capone. She's checking me on my facts. Snot Rocket is not the same person as Snot Rocket Science. I was confusing them. Snot Rocket was the Kansas City Roller Warrior skater, and she now skates under her given name of Kelly Young.
She is currently retired, but yeah, before she retired, she was Kelly Young.
And Leanne Grohl lining up for Steel City, but it looks like we are going to have a timeout on the track taken by Steel Hurton. So who's this timeout brought to us by?
This timeout is brought to us by Bruised Skate Noose, the original over-the-shoulder roller skate holder. You spend a lot of money on your skates. You don't want to hang them in a bag full of sweaty gear.
Ew.
You know what? Your skates, they just hate that.
Gross.
Get the original over-the-shoulder roller skate holder and keep your skates aired out. Show them off with a Bruised Skate Noose. You'll become an instant ambassador for roller derby when people see your skates hanging around your neck.
You know, I know some people like the smelly skates because it gives them the defense tactic, but you won't make many friends that way.
Well, and if
So
your
I would
skates
recommend that.
are smelly, or if your gear's smelly, why not treat them with Notorious RED? You'll smell clean even if you play dirty, and you can get it here at Brouhaha at the Derby 4 All booth, or you can order it online at notoriousred.com.
Yes, and we're thankful for that, especially us sitting here. We get that whiff as they go by.
If you're here in Milwaukee and you're listening to the broadcast in your hotel room or something, we urge you to go visit Turnaround Skates. They're over on Derby Laces Track 1 on turn number 3. They're having some great specials and bargains going on today. They're doing a great job. They'll also do tune-ups and stuff. Meanwhile, back on the track, Champ Unkind, take us out to Derby Laces Track 2.
It is Meryl Slaughterberg against Leanne Grohl. Leanne Grohl getting through first. It looks like that team timeout paid off as they were able to go over a little bit of strategy. She does get lead jammer still inside the pack. It is Meryl Slaughterberg trying to fight her way past that steel Hurton curtain. And now back in the pack, it's Leanne Grohl trying to go to the inside. She gets through. Great blocking there by Steel Hurton as she gets through for a Rydell Skates Grand Slam, I believe.
Racer McChaser to the penalty box for the black team. And there was a high block on the jammer. So it is a power jam brought to you by
Sakatumi. And this actually is Steel City's first lead jammer since the 5th jam. And a forearm call actually causes is what called the Sakatumi Power Jam, and a Grand Slam picked up by Meryl Slaughterberg for Detroit. She's now back in the pack as the Sakatumi Power Jam came to a close. One jammer to the inside, one to the outside. Let's see how they do it, and it is Meryl Slaughterberg who gets through for 4 points for Detroit. Leanne Grohl still inside the pack, trying to get through. She's got the star in hand. Looks like she was going to try to do the star pass, but then either decided against her or couldn't stick it.
I think it's just that stealth jammer maneuver going on again.
Yeah, it's like, and it also gives you that extra option. Meryl Slaughterberg back inside the pack, going to try to score some more points. Leanne Grohl trying to get out. She has one blocker, now 2 in front of her. She is through 4 more points for Steel Hurton.
Yeah, Meryl Slaughterberg in retrograde, going all the way back behind that Notorious RED jammer line before she can re-engage. Forced to the infield now.
Both jammers approaching the opposing packs at about the same time, with Detroit in the front and Steel City in the back. Leanne Grohl trying to try to tiptoe to the inside of the track, but runs out of time. She's able to pick up 4 points, but 2 more picked up for Detroit as well.
Also runs into a nice booty block by that Detroit pivot.
And we do have another timeout on the track, it looks like.
Detroit pivot was Racer McChaser, who forced the jammer to the infield.
Yeah, and it does look like we do have a timeout taken.
I'm surprised that the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box is empty, because there is so much to do at the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino.
It almost makes me want to commit a penalty.
Exactly. They should put a slot machine in there. There are slots open in the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. They got table games, dining shows. It's all here, and it's only at Potawatomi.
Yeah, we thank them for that, because it actually makes saying penalties way more fun.
Potawatomi.
Also being sponsored by a casino, I mean, that just sounds like, oh, that sounds great. Maybe I'll go there later.
We'd also like to thank Dr. Feifel from the Orthopedic Institute of Wisconsin. He's actually here at the track today, and I was told to... I'm right. And I'm told to correct his name. It is Feifel. He's from the Orthopedic Institute of Wisconsin, and he wishes you a safe brouhaha. Contact him at theorthoinstitute.com.
And Helen Killer going up against Rock Hard Candy as we get back to the action. It is Helen Killer who is the lead jammer. Rock Hard Candy hot on her tail, though. Really, really close as they go past turn 4. The pack speeding up in anticipation, but they call it off. You know, a little bit of a safe play there, just trying to kill some time for Detroit. 57-31 as we have just crossed the first quarter mark of the bout. And these two teams are pretty closely ranked too, so you can expect a pretty good bout all game long here today.
I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. I've been looking forward to this one all weekend. And Swift Justice lining up against Snot Rocket Science. And let's see if she can swiftly get through the pack as the whistle goes. Here she goes. Yes, she is trying to get up the front. She does get past her own blockers now into Steel Hurton's Steel wall. Trying to get through, and it is not rocket science. Get pushed to the outside, just not able to keep those feet in bounds. Has to recycle herself. Now just passing up Swift Justice. Now Swift Justice passing her back up again. She's going up against Hurricane Heather in that pack, and looks like she is getting called for a track cut going to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. So we will have a Sakatimi Power Jam.
And she's followed into the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box by Racer McChaser.
Yeah, and Snock Rocket Science will get lead jammer. Oh, whammy, dishing out a hit on the jam and picking up a Rydell Skates grand slam for the Steel City. Now back inside the pack. She's got 3 blockers in front of her and 1 helping her out. That's Hurricane Heather trying to open up a hole for her teammate in Snot Rocket Science.
Direction of play is the call.
Yes, and now trying to get backwards, taking the hit, getting through. She's through once again for another Rydell Skates grand slam, and 5 points for Steel City. Swift Justice now back in the pack. She's got 4 to beat in front of her, a full Steel City wall. Trying to get past her, spins around past the last blocker, and is able to make that initial pass.
Misconduct is the call on TKO.
And that's what's under the box, but 4 more points. 4 more points picked up by Steel City, so they are inching just a little bit closer.
Yeah, only a dozen points separate these two teams.
Yes, and I anticipate it to stay like that for most of the game.
I wouldn't be at all surprised with the unmatched quality and unmatched performance we're seeing on the track that these skaters aren't using Rydell skates. Rydell skates offer unmatched quality and unmatched performance.
And we have Feta Lee. She will be going up against Leanne Grohl. Leanne Grohl immediately going to the inside of the pack. Detroit does have 2 blockers in the penalty box, so they do have so Steel City with a little bit of an advantage. And Leanne Grohl trying to get past those 2 blockers. She does with a little bit of a juke to the inside, so she will pick up lead jammer as the pivot of Detroit, Cookie Rumble, is going to the penalty box for a forearm. And now back inside the pack, it is Leanne Grohl. She has gotten knocked down, unable to get back up again, so not Jumbo Wumbo right there. So no points picked up. Takes just a little bit of time off the clock.
She does get back up again. She's not still on.
But not before she calls it off.
Right. She takes a vodka drink. She takes a whiskey drink.
She takes a lager drink. That's all I remember.
All
1997 was a long time ago.
It's all a matter of perspective, sir. It is all a matter of perspective.
Meryl Slaughterberg lining up against Rock Hard Candy. 1 blocker in the box for both teams right now in the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. And it is Rock Hard Candy that just goes up the middle and slips through to pick up lead jammer for Steel City. As Meryl Slaughterberg trying to get through, she tiptoes. Does she know she could not stay in bounds, having to recycle, reduce, and reuse herself. And yes, Rock Hard Candy now back in the pack. She is through. Yes, she is, for 4 points for the Steel Hurtin. And it is Meryl Slaughterberg getting through as well now, but not able to pick up any points because that was just her initial pass.
All right, so we've got you outfitted with some awesome socks. How are you going to finish off your outfit?
I'm going to do with some derby laces. I'm going to say goodbye to those untied skate laces. Derby laces stay tied and tight where you want them. Get yours at derbylaces.com. Try the new Spark Metallic Skate Laces by Derby Laces. Super strong and super shiny. Get yours at skatelaces.com.
Detroit in a little bit of a hole. I mean, they got the lead, but they have not scored in 5 jams. Oh. And that's letting Steel City really creep on up. Only 7 points now separating these two teams, 57-50.
Yeah, that's just 2 passes right there away from taking the lead. And we've got a timeout on the track called by Detroit, as they're going to go over that strategy and see if strategery.
Good strategery.
And see if they can stop the bleeding a little bit.
We'd like to give a shout out to all of our volunteers here at Brouhaha 2015, all of the officials, both referees and non-skating officials, our EMTs, our entire safety team. Part of the safety team is ATI Physical Therapy. They're over at Derby Laces On Derby Laces Track 2, they're in turn number 3. On Derby Laces Track 1, they're in turn number 2. They are easily accessible for all the skaters who are there on site all weekend. When injury strikes, you do have a choice. Choose ATI Physical Therapy.
And back to the action. It's not rocket science against Helen Killer. Helen Killer trying to get to the front of the pack against that steel curtain. And she's got to fight through a wall of those blockers. That would be Hurricane Heather, Ada Bloodlace, and Allie McKill. But it is Snot Rocket Science who gets through first for lead jammer. Helen Killer through as well. Let's see what Snot Rocket Science decides to do. She's right past those Detroit jammers. Oh, puts a hit on a Detroit blocker. Hit it and quit it, calls it off, picking up 4 more points for Steel Hurton, inching within just one pass of taking the lead.
Holy cow. And adding another dimension to hit it and quit it. She hits it and then hits it
and then quits it, literally.
Hit it and quit it.
Yes, and not taking or not slowing down at all.
Champ Unkind, take us out to that notorious RED jammer line.
It will be Leanne Grohl going up against number 45 of Detroit. That is Feta Sleaze. And there's the whistle. Here we go. Feta Sleaze getting right through her own blockers, going into that Steel Hurton curtain. And we have Leanne Grohl now fighting past, spinning past the last blocker, reabsorbed by 1, but able to get through. So she will be lead for Steel City. Feta Sleaze hot on her tail, though. Not going to slow down. Let's see if she's able to see where the other jammer is. I believe she will, as Detroit's pack is in back, giving her the advantage, but calling it off. But not able, or yeah, she was able to pick up 3 points. So looks like we've got a tie game.
How about that? Could not be any closer.
No, literally. Unless they did half points.
Still not be any closer.
Yes. That would just make it way more confusing.
There used to be minor penalties. That was almost a similar thing. This sport has definitely changed, all thanks to the Women's Flat Track Derby Association. We're going to give a little bit of a shout out to them in between the next set of jams. Right now we're going to start the next jam. Champ Unkind, take us out to Derby Laces Track 2.
That would be Meryl Slaughterberg against Rock Hard Candy. Meryl Slaughterberg trying to get through. She does up the inside, going up against her own blocker, able to pick up lead jammer. Rock Hard Candy not going down without a fight, but she's got a really tough objective in front of her, trying to get past the last blocker. And looks like number 33 of Detroit is going to the penalty box for a track cut. And it's still Meryl Slaughterberg trying to get through the pack as well. It's that much tougher. Meryl Slaughterberg trying to pick up some more points and take back that lead for Detroit. And a forearm being called on the pivot of Detroit. Tego Hiddies sending her to the Potawatomi Hotel Casino penalty box. 2 more points picked up by Detroit on that last pass. Just not able to make it the full 4, but they do take the lead back from Steel Hurton.
Women's Flat Track Derby Association, wonderful organization. That's why we're all here, that and the Men's Roller Derby Association. But on this broadcast, it's all about the Women's Flat Track Derby Association. The 2015 international playoffs are fast approaching. Watch the best teams in the world compete for the glory of the Hydra. Mark your calendars. Brackets and teams will be announced July 15th at WFTDA.com.
And Snot Rocket Science lining up for Steel City. She's gonna try to tie it back up. She's going up against number 44 of Detroit. That's Helen Killer. And it is Snot Rocket Science going to the outside, turning on the Rockets, getting through. She will be lead, but it is Helen Killer hot on her tail, who actually now passes her up. And it is Snot Rocket Science that calls it off, realizing that the other jammer was just picking up too much speed to be any effect right there. Better idea just to call it off.
So Detroit regains the lead, 59-57.
Yeah, and a whopping 0-0 jam on that one.